Welcome to the Minnesota Office of the State Auditor's City and Town Accounting System, CTAS, video training. I am Mark Albrado. I work in the Government Information Division and will be your presenter for this video, CTAS 2024 Enhancements. In today's video, we will list the enhancements to CTAS, overview the details of the enhancements, provide instruction links for the enhancements where necessary. CTAS 2024 Enhancements. Update of leave functionality in addition of earn sick and save time. Improve the para-annual exclusion report. Addition of the 1096 NEC and miscellaneous reports. Upgraded activate-inactivate chart of account codes. In addition of new enterprise fund types. Leave functionality, earn sick and save time. Addition of comp time and earn sick and save time. Earn sick and save time can be tracked by accrual or annual leave. Leave time now displayed on paycheck and pay stub per law. Link to instructions for implementing the earn sick and save time can be found at the following link. Now let's go to CTAS and look at how to activate the leave functionality and earn sick and save time. Open the City and Town Accounting System CTAS program. Once open, go to the Payroll tab on top and the Employee icon. For an existing employee, open the individual employee's record. Once this is open, you will notice the tabs on top. Go to the Sick, Vacation, Comp, and Earn Sick and Save Time tab. To activate any of the vacation, sick, comp, or accrual, or earn sick and save time, simply check on the Enable the accrual amount. Select how many hours per payroll. Do this for each type of leave time that you want to account for. For the earn sick and save time, there will be two options. The first option is to just enable the accrual amount. When checking the enable box, you will notice that your accrual amount pops up, 1 hour earned for every 30 hours worked. Your max accrual is how many accrual hours they can earn per year. Your max balance is how many hours that they can carry over from year to year. With the Enable EST accrual selected and the annual accrual selected, this would be for an employee who earns their hours at the beginning of the year and does not accrue them. You would enable the earn sick and save time accrual, then check the annual accrual box. Now you would go to the max accrual per year. This is how many hours that they are given at the beginning of the year, and select save. Now the hours are already earned for this employee and they can use their hours when creating a payroll moving forward. If an employee has already earned sick, vacation, comp, or earned sick and save time, you will need to put their current balance in when you create their first payroll after enabling their vacation times here in the employee record. Let's look at how to do this. Go to the Payroll tab and then the Payroll icon. Click on Add Payroll. Fill out the information to create the first payroll and save. I will add employee 1 to the payroll roster. Next step would be to enter hours. I'm just going to put in 40 hours. Now we will want to look at the Sick and Vacation Comp ESST tab. In here, you will notice that we have sections for each type of leave balance. If this employee had actually earned, say, 7 hours of sick time, I would go to the accrual adjustment and I would just increase this by 3 hours, bringing their ending balance to what they currently have, 7 hours. This will work in all the adjustment categories. As you can see, this employee had the annual accrual, so they already have 48 hours for their balance. So their ending balance is correct. If they needed to adjust their earned sick and save time, again, use the adjustments in the accrued. The same is true for vacation and comp balances. Save this information. And now we will take a look at how CTAS prints the balances on the paychecks. I will select the Print Payroll Checks Pay Stubs to view the payroll check. When you look at the bottom of the check now, you will see a section for the leave balances. All balances are listed with their beginning, accrued, used, and ending balances. Improve Annual Para Exclusion Report. Addition of the following fields: Employer Para Number, Exclusion Code. Per users, this will aid in reporting to Para. Users will need to update all employees after updating to CTAS 2024. See the following link for how to implement Para updates. Again, let's go to CTAS to see how to update the Para information for an employee. With CTAS open, go to the Payroll tab and then the Payroll icon. Click on Add Payroll. When you create your first payroll in CTAS after updating, and you try to add employees to the employee roster, you will notice that they are listed in red and cannot be moved over to be added to the payroll roster until you update their Para information. You will need to update each individual employee's Para information before they can be moved onto the payroll roster. With CTAS open, select the Payroll tab on top and the Employee icon. You will need to open each individual employee and then go to the Other and Employer tab. If an employee was previously entered into Para, their previous plan type will be displayed to the right. Simply select the drop-down, select the plan type, make sure the correct percentages are in the retirement and additional, and select Save. Again, remember, you will need to do this for each employee. If the employee has not been in a Para plan, in the drop-down box, select Excluded from Para. If your entity does not participate in Para, select Excluded from Para for all employees. Once you have all your employees updated, select the Admin tab on top and then the Admin icon. Go to the Edit System Information tab and enter your Para Employer ID. If your entity does not participate in Para, you can enter all zeros or leave blank. Once all employees have had their Para information updated, when you come back to the payroll and go to create the payroll roster, you will notice that the employees are no longer in red and can be moved to the roster, and your payroll can be completed. Let's take a look at what the para exclusion report looks like with the new update. To create the para report, let's go to the Reports tab on top, Payroll Year-to-Date icon, and then run the para annual exclusion report. When we review this report, we can now see that the employer para number has been added along with the para exclusion code. So now when entering your data or reporting your data into para, all the information should be on this report, which should make it easier for users when reporting. Addition of 1096 NEC and miscellaneous reports. Per user request, 1096 NEC and miscellaneous reports added. The ability to print 1096 NEC and miscellaneous reports to pre-printed forms. Let's view the 1096 reports in the CTAS program. With CTAS open, select the Reports tab, then the Vendors icon. Select the 1096 miscellaneous form. Move the vendors over, select your correct tax year, select the Print Preview button. CTAS will now print the 1096 information on a pre-printed form, just as you would the regular 1099 NEC or miscellaneous form. And then we also have the 1096 NEC. Upgraded Activate Inactivate chart of account codes. Easier activation inactivation of fund account object code and program account codes. Accounting codes can now be activated or inactivated by simply checking or unchecking the box in the active column. Let's go to CTAS to see how this works. In CTAS, select the Accounting tab on top and then the Chart of Accounts icons. In the Chart of Accounts, it defaults to the Fund Number tab. So here, when you want to activate an account now, you simply find the account that you'd like to activate, go to the active column. In the box, a check mark will be added, and now your fund is now active. If I would go back to a receipt or a claim, and if I would like to add one, we should now see the library fund is added in our dropdown. This works for all of these sections in the chart of accounts. Again, put a check in the box of the active column. And now your account code is automatically activated. Addition of new enterprise fund types. The addition of the following enterprise fund types have been added to CTAS. Fund 610, Transit System. Fund 612, Airport. Fund 613, Golf Course. Fund 617, Broadband. Fund 618, Ambulance. Fund 619, Deputy Register. Enterprise types are only required for funds in the 600 to 799 range. Let's take a look in CTAS where the enterprise types display. With CTAS open, select the Accounting tab on top and the Chart of Accounts icon. Enterprise types will be fund when you activate an enterprise fund. Let's take, for example, the airport. When I select the active box, there is an enterprise type drop-down. Here you want to select the type that associates with your fund name, airport, and then select Save. If you are not using enterprise funds, you do not have to select a type. The type only comes in when using enterprise or internal service funds. This concludes the CTAS 2024 enhancement video. If you have further questions, feel free to contact our office at the CTAS Help phone line 651 296-6262 or the CTAS help email, ctas@osa.state.mn.us. There's also very helpful information on our CTAS main webpage. Again, I thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.